think it is my superpower. I can feel people energetically very quickly.
Strong women don't smile for approval. And in America, that could be a problem.
A lot of people say, you guys have resting bitch face. Not everybody lives by the same beliefs. Oh, we made $10 million or we made $20 million. Oh, what's the message of that fear?
I don't know.
I teach people how to know. People think you are crazy. Don't depend on a man. Men are not to be trusted.
What do you think Americans first misunderstand about us?
I had to learn how to look more friendly. And I found coaching. And it helped me. And I thought to myself, wow, everybody needs this.
In the relationship.
Those people don't come to me.
And not everyone is brave enough to make it. Americans by choice.
Welcome to American by Choice. This is a podcast of people who chose to come to America and they decided to build something here. Today we are with Ludmila Woodruff. She was born in Poland and moved to Belgium, came to United States about 15 years ago? 10 years ago. And she has a very impressive business. I actually saw her on another side, not as a friend or acquaintance. So she is a coach for very successful individuals who has it all figured out in the work world, and she's trying to help them achieve the same thing at home because that's a completely different thing. So nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
So what do you think Americans, knowing that we have sometimes Eastern European people, because I'm from Russia, has that certain demeanor. What do you think Americans first misunderstand about us, like people like us?
Our demeanor is not very... I had to learn how to look more friendly. I think you understand what I'm talking about. We have this very serious face and we don't get into a lot of small talk with people in our culture. We keep a distance. We like to keep a distance. We had to learn how to be a little bit more open with strangers. I'm very straightforward. Sometimes you saw me in my workshop.
And I saw, oh my God, this was absolutely the craziest thing. So I saw you at the Stovall House and it's, for more, it's for affluent women.
Yes.
There was the whole room of affluent, successful women there, and it's just usually it's a nice conversations about how can you improve psychologically or here and there, and then all of a sudden let's just get up, let's stare at each other. It's just okay, I think I'm back to my mom's house.
So when I entered the room, like you say, at the place where it's very, let's be relaxed, let's learn something psychologically, I like to give people an experience. I want you to feel something. Because a lot of women in America, we live in our heads. We have to be very mental for our careers, our businesses. We run households, we have kids, we have friends, we have parents. So there is so much going on mentally that I say we live from the neck up. I want you in my session to get to the body experience. What are you going to feel? Even if it's a shock or surprise, I want you to feel something, because then I will take you to another place within you and you can see parts of yourself you haven't met yet or connected with. So a lot of women started laughing and they started really speaking to each other and looking at each other. When I told you, hold the gaze, it is so uncomfortable.
It is. It was 3 minutes.
I said, hold the gaze for 3 minutes.
Yeah, we had to look at, I had to stand up and stand with a woman that I have never seen before for 3 minutes without
saying anything.
And it was so difficult.
Uncomfortable. Because we want to what? Fill the void. We want to say something to distract from people seeing us.
Yeah.
Because if you don't say anything, now I can really see you. But most of them cannot see you because they are so concerned with themselves. How am I perceived? So I love to give experiential opportunities to people to get us out of this automatic way of being. Because, I can give a lecture, that's great. But I want you to leave feeling something different. So
so do you think that just in speaking about that cultural differences in America, it's people just nicer or they politer, or it's just more kind of the
so I lived in 3 cultures, right? So I lived in Poland, which also connects to Russia, and we have a lot of similar behaviors and expectations. And then I lived in Belgium, which is very different from Poland and America. And then I came to America. What I see is it takes a longer time to get closer to people in Poland or in Belgium. It takes time to kind of close the gap of the distance. But then when you are in, we are in for life. In America, I feel it's friendly, but it's a little bit more superficial from the beginning. And sometimes you feel you are connecting with people, but you are not. That's what I've experienced.
So what do you think? I mean, you had to establish your business and play the rules of that kind of 5 second and just talk about nothing.
Yes.
How did it feel to you?
It was awkward too, because I'm used to more, or I go in depth or through personal, like a little bit about personal life, but people, here it takes time to talk about nothing. It's just at least 10 minutes, half an hour. Again, I am in a relationship space, even in my business. So I just love to explore people. I just like to look at people and be curious. First of all, I'm in another culture. And I want to learn this culture because I want to live here. I have 2 kids. I want to become part of the society. I think it is my superpower. I can feel people energetically very quickly right now. So when I was younger, growing up in Poland, I didn't understand anything about avoidance. So some people are very emotionally avoidant. How does that look like? They don't do small talk. They don't want to engage a lot in conversation. They will not ask you questions back. And when I was young, I thought, I must be not smart. That was my understanding. They are not interested in me. But now I have clients that are emotionally avoidant, and I know nobody ever asked them, what do you need? Nobody ever took care of them emotionally. So they became very independent. They only count on themselves. They don't know how to ask for what they need. They don't have any boundaries. Like the boundaries are isolation, right? So I can feel now when people are distant too much. If there is a distance and I can get closer to you, that's amazing. I want to explore this. But if there is a wall, I can feel it immediately. And I can say, is there a chance to connect or not? If not, I just let it go, right? So I don't make it mean anything wrong about me or the person. And I just understand we are all at different levels of intimacy fears, I call this. How comfortable am I with being seen, right? How comfortable am I with sharing something about myself? And I also understand when I just meet you, we will not go into depth of conversation. I had to relearn that. There is a process of learning a little bit slower about the other person.
So how did you start? Did you do that when you were living in Belgium, or is that so? How did you come to that space, and how did you figure out your niche client? Because you obviously very niche.
Yes, it's very niche, and I love working with my clients because when I start. So first of all, how did it start? I studied languages. I have masters in translation, and I also did training in intercultural communication, which is very helpful because I can work with any client from anywhere, whatever your background is, religious differences or ethnicity. I have a nuance for understanding how you communicate and the cultural norms and expectations, because not everybody lives by the same beliefs. But when we left Belgium and we came to America, I was already a mother. We had 1 child, and I wanted something that is more flexible. I did not want to be dependent on somebody else telling me where I have to work, because I wanted to be present as a mom. And I navigated a lot of challenges when I shifted from single to married. Was still good. I was a wife, that was great. But when I became a mother, oh my Lord, it was such a hard transition for me to, motherhood, where people say it should be so easy. It wasn't easy for me.
Did you have child?
No.
Here?
So our first one was in Belgium and the second one was here in
And your
Cali.
husband is Polish, or?
He's from Michigan.
Okay,
From
so he's
born
American.
and raised here.
Okay, so that will go into that too.
But
I wanted to,
Interesting, but he lived in Belgium for 9 years. He loves Europe. He understands it. I woke up one day and thought to myself, this cannot be it. I moved 2 countries. I moved the continent, and I thought I have all the check, and I'm not feeling happy. Something is wrong, and that's a lot of my clients. They do all the right things. They make all the money, they have a partner, or maybe they cannot find a partner, and they say, why am I not feeling it? It was supposed to be the peak of my life right now. And I just like to find answers for what's happening to me. And I didn't want to be an unhappy person as a wife and a mother. And I found coaching, and it helped me. And I thought to myself, wow, everybody needs this. I just love the personal power. I love to be responsible for how I feel. I don't want to blame my husband. I don't want to blame my child. I don't want to blame my clients. I have only so much influence on everyone. So I have to make sure that I have the most influence on myself. Because if I am doing well, everybody's doing well. And I thought to myself, I don't think people are aware that we have a choice in how we feel.
Establishing your business, let me ask you, and you've done it like later on when you already had kids.
Yes.
You started out. How do you think positioning your business here, your type of business in the United States versus if you would do in Belgium? I don't know if you can compare, or in Poland. What do you think? What do you think would be different, and what do you think was advantages or
disadvantage? I think starting business in America is so much easier. I don't know what you think, but that's what I've experienced. In Belgium,
why?
Because in Belgium you have to have so much paperwork, and just that part I think would be so demanding. I don't say you cannot do it, you can, but I think entry into business in America is
agreed.
Oh my gosh, so much like you want to start something great. Also in Belgium and Poland, I would say both of those countries, if you want to change your profession and you want to do something completely different, people think you are crazy. They're like, wait a minute, you went to college, let's say to medical school for 10 years, and now you want to do what? Like sell shakes or whatever you decide to do with yourself, right? Or you want to have a marketing company?
There's a lot of judgment.
So much judgment. Because there is lack of understanding, and we really hold on to the pride of this is my education, which I appreciate that. Because you spend a lot of time and money to establish yourself. What I love about America is that nobody cares. What did you do before? I don't care. What are you doing right now? Do you need some support? There is so much more openness about changing as you are, you are in seasons of life. Something that worked for you 5 years ago might not work today. And there is no judgment around it here. There is just more approval. Oh, you want to start a business? Great. What are you going to be doing? Tell me more.
What's your thoughts on working with women here and just working and interacting with women where you came from? What was it? Was it challenging, or was it something?
I understand them very well. And they end up with me for a reason. Because high-performing women don't want to listen to a lot of feedback because we think we know it all. I mean... Okay, it's very good to have strong opinions. I appreciate women with strong opinions. I welcome them. But I also had to learn myself. Listen, I was my first client. I had to learn myself and say, Ludmila, you need to zip your mouth sometimes and listen. Because we say we listen as women, but high-performing women, we don't listen so well. I will say that. So when we talk, it's like the internal safety and connection that we need for survival. Sometimes works in our disadvantage because we are not open to new ideas. I had to learn how to sit back and watch what's happening in my head and my body as somebody's trying to teach me something.
Immigrants that come here and they have these ideas, okay, I'm going to try to do or build something.
Yes.
And they have this house that has a lot of fears, but then courage in the same time. What would be your advice?
So there is support that's, outside of you, like your connections and relationships that you build. And I think in America, that's very important if you want to build a business. You need good relationship skills. That's, again, something that I teach my clients because you can build a business by force. And a lot of my clients did, or even your professional career if you are not in business. A lot of my clients have a lot of drive out of survival. They want to make it. They need to make it because they came from nothing. And they arrive at the, let's say, we made $10 million or we made $20 million. And you would think now you can relax. They don't even know how to relax because they came from push, which works until it doesn't, right? And there are people who, as you say, they want to move, but they're paralyzed and they are, should I do it? Should I move forward? Not to move forward? That's a very different state of being. One is I have to move for survival. The other is if I move forward, I might, in my head, in my body, I feel like I will die. Something bad will happen. If I move forward, something will happen to me, right? So I look at the states of being. You can be connected and calm and very reassured. You can be in fight flight. That's where we defend ourselves all the time and we have to be right. You can be avoidant. I don't want to have those conversations. I don't want to think about this idea. Or you can be in complete shutdown, which looks like depression. And there are a lot of people who live in functional depressive state, which they show up for work and so forth, but they are completely disconnected. So for people that feel I have all those dreams and courage, but I'm feeling like I'm blocked, find the parts of you. First of all, I always teach my clients how to close your eyes. And we talked about living from the head and then waking up at night with feelings of, why am I feeling anxious, right? Close your eyes. Notice where in your body is the anxiety or the fear. Is it in your chest? Is it in your stomach? Is it tight? Is it like butterfly wings? Is it heaviness?
No, I know exactly.
Where
like
is
for
it?
me, it's in my stomach. It's like fear, kind of almost.
Okay, so what's the message of that fear?
I don't know.
What is that? You see? So I teach people how to know. I literally connect you. That's my method is called the deeply connected method, because we get out of the head and you learn yourself so deeply that when something comes up in your stomach, you know exactly what it is. It's not very difficult. Is it pleasant? No, it's not, because a lot of times when we talk about stomach is the personal power and personal identity and how safe I feel in what I'm claiming to be, right? So depending on what's happening in your life, in your business and so forth, relationally, financially, you know, what was happening for your parents at that age or for your mother at that age, because it's transgenerational. Somatic is also transgenerational. So there is a way to resolve for that very quickly.
So you said that your husband is American, right?
Yes.
How is that?
Well, I think there are different types of marriages, right? So what really works for me and my husband is that even though we came from different cultures, our values were very aligned, meaning the man provides, the man protects, the man shows up. It's like he's the head of the household, even though I'm still also leading in many ways. And I can count on him, and I can feel that I'm always held and supported. Okay. And marriage is we're going to figure it out. We are not talking about divorce. We are going to figure it out. If we both need to grow, we both need to grow. If we both need to change something, we'll figure it out. So we were really lucky to meet in our seasons where we both knew what we wanted and be aligned on the values, be aligned of the lifestyle. My husband is also open to moving back to Europe, or if I say, hey, would you move to another country? He's very open to it. So the lifestyle and the values and the non-negotiables were very aligned for both of us. What I see very often with couples, they don't get clear on the expectations, on the lifestyle, on the values and non-negotiables. They just get married. And then as they are married, after honeymoon of 3 years, all the issues start coming up. Or you have kids and then all the issues start coming up, right? Like, oh, my parents raised me by yelling at me, so that's what I'm doing now. Or my parents ignored me and didn't talk to me. And my wife, it's very often, and the wife is trying to raise kids with emotional awareness, and the husband says, yeah, that's too soft, we cannot do it. Love and the feeling of love is great, but 10 years in, it's not going to sustain you. So know the differences. Am I okay with this? Can I work with this? Can I be accepting of this? And by the way, your spouse is not a copy of you. When people come to me, I don't choose sides. If I have a man and a woman, or even if I just work with a woman and she comes to me and says, my husband doesn't do XYZ. Okay, we shift to personal power, meaning how are you part of this dynamic? What are your beliefs about your husband? What are your beliefs about your behaviors? When did you learn how to communicate through conflict? I believe in marriage, so I have a healthy view of marriage. Do I believe marriage is for everybody? No. But it's for my clients. My clients want to stay married or get married.
So do they feel like when you're coming in with your set of beliefs and they believe in, I don't know, something different or modern or like a lot that's happening in urban areas, you know, like open relationships or things like that.
Those people don't come to me. I mean, but if they did, I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to show you your patterns. So even if you are in an open relationship, I will not judge you. The first exercise I have all my clients to do is relationship blueprint. So it's set of questions, and when they fill it out, I can pinpoint where did they learn their relationship patterns, meaning how do I do love? How do I feel love? How do I nurture someone? How do I communicate with someone? Like, it gives me a whole blueprint of their personality, which is incredible because I can pull beliefs out of there. And some people do open relationships because they are disconnected from themselves. They never had a stable household and they learned how to relate to others in that way. Some people, it's what they want, right? But I cannot help you if I don't know, do you want to stay in this relationship? If that's what you come to me with, great. We're still going to look at the patterns and what is not working. I am here to show you what this pattern creates in beliefs, behaviors, emotional truths, and repetitive cycles. And then I show you how to change that pattern, okay? And single people, they say, hey, I've built this business or career. I'm so successful. I cannot figure it out in my relationships. Because in America, what is happening right now for a lot of my single clients, women are told, you cannot depend on a man. You have to have your own money, which is great, have your own financial freedom. But it's almost to the point where we disregard men, we don't respect men, we don't value men, but we want a man. It's so confusing. So my clients come to me and say, Ludmila, I've been like, the programming is don't depend on a man. Men are not to be trusted. They will fail you. You have to have your own back all the time, but I also want to get married. How do you do that? It's very hard to attract a man if you don't trust men.
No, of course.
You can go on 100 dates, right? And you can mentally, again, in your head, you can keep saying, I want a man, I want marriage, I want love. But if subconsciously in your body is, I don't trust men, men betray, men cheat, men, you have to heal your pattern. So it's unfortunate because I feel like in Poland, in Eastern Europe, and I don't say any culture is perfect, but in Eastern Europe, we have the feeling of the man leads, right? We still make our own money, we work. But when I come home, I feel he still holds me. He's like the masculine, right? In Belgium, it's very 50-50. There's no polarity, no feminine, masculine. Women have to work as men because we are independent. We don't count on men, we count on the system. They have a lot of social systems in Belgium, which is very supportive, but it creates a very different dynamic where it's 50-50. You pay, I pay, there is, And then in America, it is very individualistic. Become independent, have your own, go compete, but I want a man, but I don't know how to let it in, right? So that's where my clients find me because they see me and they think, wow, she's so independent, she has a big personality, and she's been happily married for 15, how do you do that? For 15 years, how do you do that, right? And they know that if somebody comes to me and they say, I'm struggling with men, I will never badmouth men. I will never badmouth women. I will say, what's the pattern? You are the pattern. So what's the pattern? Let's explore the pattern and give you the freedom of having exactly what you want, not only professionally, but also romantically in your personal life, which is such a gift. It's magic. It's magic. It sets you free.
It's very difficult just to live life in general, to build businesses here, even if you're born here, try to come from a different country to another country, leave everything behind, leave the language, leave the food that you used to, even air feels different. And I think life is beautiful and full of, I believe in that, full of magical things. But I think that real magic is the people who are building this type of dreams.
Thank you so much. My name is Ludmila Woodruff, and I'm Polish American and American by choice.
And not everyone is brave enough to make it. Americans by choice.
Continue. Creatively driven, focused on results. Digital marketing agency.